Fun time.
Yes, sir.
Connor's good people.
Heyo, Greg Branos here for the Coach Speak Index. Got a little bit behind the scenes there, us talking about somebody behind their back and saying how great of a guy they are. Ripping a second draft now. We just had the first one with Connor Allen. That was an awesome time, and going to have an equally, if not maybe even better. No shade to Connor, but
this will be better. I'm better than Connor. I'll just say it. I hope he's watching. I love Connor like a brother, man. I love that dude.
My guest for this second draft this afternoon is an analyst for Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros, Derek Brown. Welcome.
Dude, I'm just glad to be a part of this. It's funny because I was at the expo, the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton last week, and your name actually got brought up a whole lot. Like people just talking about how much they love Coach Speak, and this isn't me just like steaming you up here, but like a lot of people brought it up, and I was like, I'm actually doing a show with that. Like y'all need to tune into this. Like next week, we're gonna rip a best ball draft, dude. So a lot of talk about Coach Speak up in Canton, bro. People respecting the grind, respecting what you do.
Love that. Love to hear it. Yeah, just trying to tell your league mates about the Coach Speak Index. I know y'all hate doing it. I know y'all refuse to do it, but give you good karma.
Yeah.
You might end up losing to that person in your league, but you'll sleep soundly knowing that you're a good person doing good deeds for the world. By the way, the Coach Speak Index Discord got a little QR code up in the top corner there. The most valuable asset in all of fantasy football. That's not me saying it. That's the GOAT, Evan Silva. If you got a problem with that statement, take it up with Evan.
Or just, argue with your cat. It's all good.
Yeah, argue with your cat.
Yep.
All right.
If you don't get a cat, or if you don't have a cat, get one you can argue with.
Yes, go adopt a cat from a shelter. And
is there a link going to be in the chat for your local humane society, Greg?
Yeah. When they ask you what kind of home you're bringing the cat home to, say a very argumentative home where we don't tell anyone about the Coach Speak Index.
But this is how we express love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of love, but it's shown in a different manner.
We all have our different ways. All right, a little 5-second heads up. About to click this button to get into a Best Ball Mania 6 draft on Underdog. QR code for that as well. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick'em, which you can use on maybe Joe Milton, higher than 125.5 passing yards against the Ravens. I think he's going to play that entire game once again, as Brian Schottenheimer hinted to us a couple days ago. And we are in this draft. We have the 10th pick. I will get it up on screen. Do you have any favorite spots to draft in these drafts, Derek?
Dude, I love the turn right now. Yeah. I just love the collection of players you can get access to. And I've seen you've been ripping enough of these drafts. Like you'll see depending on the day, and Underdog is so reactionary. It's like basically just Twitter on a different app. To where like news will hit, you'll see a guy slide like 2 to 3 spots, maybe 4, like or later, depending on what the news is and stuff. Like you can get some unreal starts like at the turn right now. Like there should be no iteration of like any way in reality. But dude, I started a draft the other day with Justin Jefferson and Puka Nacua because Stafford news hit. Jefferson like had slid like I think it was like the 108. But I just love being at the turn because like there's this collection of players that I keep finding myself drafting that like I think all have like first round worthy type of profiles, but you can get 2 of those guys at the turn a lot of times.
Yeah, there is a lot of elite players there. I feel like it's about 17, 18, maybe 19 players deep this year where it's all these guys are pretty elite. Like you're getting down to ADP wise here at 18 is Brock Bowers, just an unbelievable tight end.
You can start with like 2 of like CMC or Genty sometimes, and like 1 of Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London. If you feel strongly about Achan, like there's just a lot of guys down there, or Nico Collins. Like you can start with 2 of these guys, and I don't think that any of those starts, whether it's you're splitting the difference in running back and wide receiver, or you go RB and wide receiver. So like there's a lot of different ways to build it, man. And I love all the guys in that phylum.
Yeah, it's really hard to choose. It's like being a kid in a candy store, and it's all just your favorite candies.
Yep.
All right, we are on the clock. Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devon Achane, Brian Thomas Jr., and anybody here on these?
Achane or Genty for me.
Okay.
Totally fine with either one of those guys. It depends on who you want to go. So I'll leave it up to you, Greg. I'm good with one of those guys.
Let's get Achane. Cool. As everything else in that offense seems to be falling apart.
By week 5, Tyreek Hill is going to go full AB, and he might retire at halftime. Who knows? He can't even keep the smile on his face right now, just trying to like talk crap about anybody on his team that's there right now. So you hate to see it, but at the same time, you kind of don't mind it.
Yeah. Back on the clock, Genty is there still. Drake London, AJ Brown, Brock Bowers.
And Genty doesn't have the same bye week as Achane, right?
Okay. Not. No.
Dude, let's toss some stuff at the wall. Let's go Genty.
Double up.
Dude, because I'll say this. I know it feels like boring missionary, like redraft like 8 years ago, like starting RB, but I actually really like diversifying my portfolio and going RB because not a lot of people are doing that, dude. Like you see a lot of hero, a lot of 0 RB, so a lot of starts where it's 1 RB, 1. I mean, I'm old enough to remember, Greg, didn't Pat Kerrane win at all with an RB start? So like RB is not dead. It's just you have to get guys that are league winning upside talents. And really that comes to accessing the passing game, which Genty is going to do. And CMC went before us, but he's going to do. And as well as Achane is going to do. So getting 2 of those guys, and now you can easily build a team where you start RB. Now you can easily build a team where just punt RB. We draft like we're right. And you punt RB until like the last like 4 rounds of your draft, and you just smack all these RB2s, and you're still walking out with a team where you have 5, 6 running backs, but building it like thoughtfully.
Right. There's still a lot of very good receiving options later in the draft, at this 3-4 turn, at the 5-6 turn. I mean, when you're getting to that 5-6 turn, it's so many wide receivers of, guys like, I mean, Ricky Pearsall now going kind of around that range. Emeka Egbuka, Chris Olave, Jawan Jennings, just a lot of pretty attractive options. I mean, at 58, sometimes you're getting like Travis Hunter, Jalen Waddle, some. You
just have to understand, if you're going to do this, that you're already going to be behind the 8 ball wide receiver, which it's possible to catch up. But if you start a team like this with RB, you're not going to probably pay up. You're not paying up for like a premium tight end, because you do need to catch up a wide receiver. So again, like thoughtful roster construction, and you're not paying up for like a premium quarterback in this type of build either.
Right.
Because again, you're going to be sacrificing wide receiver.
And luckily you can, I mean, last year with Jaden Daniels, that was a premium quarterback who you got in, the like 9th, 10th round.
Crazy. His value never made any freaking sense to me, dude, the entire time.
That was so crazy with him and Bowers going.
I got 3, dude. I'm fine with any one of these top 3 tight ends. I mean, top 3 wide receivers here, depending on who makes it to us.
Yeah.
I would love if Mike Evans falls to us right here. I'm all in on Mike Evans this year, because I think when the news hit, and watch, he gets drafted. But Mike Evans for me.
Let's do it.
Dude, so here's my thing, Greg. Like when the news hit about Chris Godwin's second surgery and stuff like that, everybody went to because I think it was just like the low-hanging fruit, the talking points that everybody had already been mashing on, like Emeka Egbuka, like what does this do for him and Jalen Millen? And everybody went to that part of the conversation. And my takeaway from it was, Do you not all realize that Mike Evans is one of the best values in freaking fantasy right now? Like, if Godwin's not going to be fully healthy for a chunk of this season, we've seen what Mike Evans, and he's shown no fall off. Like, this dude per fantasy points data was still top 5 last year in separation, route win rate, and yards per route run. So, like, we get a Mike Evans without Chris Godwin, or a less than 100% Chris Godwin. Tell me how that's not a smash, dude. I know we're back up on the clock.
Back on the clock, Devontae Adams, Tetaroa, McMillan, Terry McLaurin.
So if we didn't already go with one old man wide receiver, I would be in on Devontae Adams, but let's go Ted here.
Yeah.
I love Ted. I'm all in on Ted, dude. I have him as a top 20 wide receiver. Like, Tedro McMillan, and I'm not kidding this. Like, he has 10 to 12 touchdown upside.
Yeah.
People get so lost. Like, Carolina last year was quietly 4th in red zone passing rate. And now you enter this guy who has the size to be a red zone threat, who has the target earning ability to be, and he will be. Dude, Dave Canellis, I mean, you can speak to this. Dave Canellis, what has he already said about Ted? We are going to challenge this guy. We are going to load him up with volume. I mean, you probably have the direct quote already fired up, Greg.
Yeah, you know what? Let me pull it up here from the Coach Speak Index.
I mean, he literally went out there and was like, we are going to push this dude from day one and challenge him. Like, to me, that says, like, bro, if we get Tedro McMillan and he has double-digit touchdowns and he has 140, 150 targets this year, tell me how we don't all look back and be like, why in the hell was he not a top 24 wide receiver?
Yeah. So after the Panthers drafted Tedro McMillan in April, Dave Canales said that he gives us a good size element, the red zone target, a lot of things to be excited about. Throughout this press conference, several times Dave Canales talked about the red zone threat that Tedro McMillan is. We saw him get that really nice target from Bryce Young in the preseason game. Canales also said, and this stood out to me as well, he's a baller. There's a simple way to look at it when you watch film. The ballers show up and they make plays in big moments, and they're always looking to do something special.
Love it.
I could not be more in on Tedro McMillan this year at this price.
I mean, dude, to be honest, like, I think everybody got there's two different things I think at play while we're able to get him here. One, this has been talked about as a down receiver class. Two, I mean, everybody just shaded him throughout the entirety of the process. Like, tell me, like, I mean, if his name was Marvin Harrison Jr. and this is last year, he wouldn't even be on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like it's a gift that we're getting in fantasy drafts right now, and you just say thank you to the rest of the draft room.
We are one pick away.
Catching up at wide receiver still. There's two guys that I love here. One specifically because I want to get upside here, but I'll wait until this goes. I don't know if this person's tuning in here.
All right. They did not pick a receiver.
All the Pearsall. Let's do it. Hell yeah, man. I'm all in on Ricky P. Like, it's not the talk right now that he's out there and what he's doing and stuff like that. To me, it's the 100-foot view of a wide receiver that has first-round draft capital. Brandon Ayuk is going to be slow to start the year. Jennings is dealing with a calf injury still. And plus, he's a 27-year-old fourth-year breakout. So if we just looked at this from a 100-foot view and said, there's a first-round wide receiver who did flash, albeit in a small sample, in his rookie season.
Back on the clock here.
Oh, we're back on it.
Yeah.
Let's go volume bet. Let's go Stephon Diggs.
Diggs? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's either him or Olave for me, but I'm in on Diggs more than Olave. I think it comes back to like splitting hairs of those two guys. It's quarterback play. Feel a whole hell of a lot better about Drake May than I do the combination of Spencer Rattler and freaking Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, Drake May, my top exposure on Underdog. I think around like 24-ish, 25-ish.
Not a bad catch up at wide receiver, huh, man?
Yeah, let's look at this team real quick. Running back Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, wide receiver Mike Evans, Tedro McMillan, Ricky Pearsall, Stephon Diggs. Very, very cool.
Giving ourselves a lot of outs for some late quarterback stacking too, and guys we don't have to pay up.
Yeah, what's super intriguing to me about Ricky Pearsall, or one of the things, at least something that I think is not talked about enough is the possibility that he gets some of the Deebo Samuel kind of like backfield usage and like the little sweep handoffs and those sort of things. I mean, that's something that's very much in his skill set, in his bag, and that just, of course, increases his value for fantasy. And I mean, this guy's like so good against man coverage. Yeah,
he's fantastic, dude. Like I think, like I mean, and this kind of just goes to a bigger, like I think like two of those undervalued offenses this year. Like, give me all the parts and pieces of like the Eagles passing attack and the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like the upside and the talent of all these 49ers guys, like it's not matching where their ADPs are. You know what I mean? Like when it's not CMC now, but it was early in the offseason. You were seeing him slip into the second round in some drafts. And again, like Pearsall's getting more respect, but that's also like, part of the format with Underdog. Like just wide receivers are pushed up so much.
You mentioned the Eagles passing attack. You want to expound on that a little bit?
Dude, Devonta Smith is just free money. And a lot of places you're getting him as your wide receiver 3 or like wide receiver heavy builds, wide receiver 4. And yet this is a guy that over the last, 3 to 4 seasons, last year included, has not finished outside the top 20 wide receivers in fantasy points per game. So you're getting wide receiver 2 production at your wide receiver 3 spot, or if you're going wide receiver heavy and say he falls in some drafts, which is possible, you're getting him as a wide receiver 4. Like that's a smash pick every freaking time. And people are like, it's not a sexy pick. Like, I'm sorry, a wide receiver 2 production at a wide receiver 3 price tag is absolutely freaking awesome to me.
Yeah. About to be back on the clock.
What's tight end and quarterback look like for us?
Tight end is TJ Hawkinson, who I'm a big fan of.
You said well, there's some guys here that I do like. By ADP, what's tight end look like?
Right there.
It'd be a reach for Mark Andrews. So it's either Andrews or we go with Jordan Mason here. So one of the
damn.
Who we get? Oh, we got Hawk.
We got Hawk.
That's fine.
We might be able to get Mason. This guy has 3 running backs. This next guy has 2. One of them is Derrick Henry.
Hawk. I mean, Hawk is totally fine. I feel like he's a good middle of the road tight end, and plus it gives us another laid out for like a McCarthy stack if we wanted to go Mason here. Just kind of
damn. Mason's gone.
Let's go Jaden Higgins then.
Higgins, yeah.
Love Higgins. He's again another player that's underpriced.
Yeah, seems like a lock for wide receiver 2 there.
Dude, we all lived in the world last year where we all spent up on all these Houston Texans wide receivers, and yet a year later we're all like, oh well, Nico Collins is good, but the rest of them suck. Like why? Why?
Yeah, this Houston offense. I mean, we saw, I forget who I think it was I was talking about it with Pat Kerrane the other day, how 2 years ago in CJ Stroud's rookie season, they just kept trying to establish the run and they could not run the ball for shit. And then DeMeco Ryan said, okay, if we can't run the ball, then we're just going to pass the hell out of the ball. Yeah. And I got the sense that maybe he was leaning on Bobby Slowick a little bit to, saying like, enough, like this is not working. We got to pass it more. And then we saw them like transition pretty quickly to a very pass heavy offense. That offensive line there is very, very concerning. I hope they're able to give CJ Stroud the time that he needs to, throw it downfield to these big dudes like Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins. But some pretty bullish coach speak on both Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll. It was about a month ago, maybe, or a few weeks ago, of DeMeco Ryan saying how, Kamari Lassiter and one of these other defensive rookies that they had last year and brought in, like the way that they performed in practice and in camp and everything that they were doing off the field as well. Like they knew that they were going to make an instant impact on the field. And DeMeco Ryan said that we're seeing this exact same thing from Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll right now. So
Yep.
that seems.
I mean, dude, both those guys are studs, and I mean, we could take, I love taking Null at the end of rounds and then kind of pairing him with Higgins, like a cheap like Stroud double, and we're giving ourselves the outs for that. So, I mean, I'm loving this team build so far, man. Like again, this is how, like, if you're gonna start RB and you're gonna then play catch up at wide receiver and all the other positions, I think this is how you do it.
For sure. We got a couple QB options here. Well, one
Dude,
of them just went off.
I'm totally fine with taking Drake May here.
Let's do it.
Pair him with Diggs and then maybe taking a quarterback when we come back to it, or just kind of seeing where it's at.
We have the Hunter Henry stuff later as well.
Yep, we do.
And what QBs here? So Dak is one. There's not a lot of pieces left to stack with Dak except for Ferguson and Kevontae Turpin later.
We're probably waiting. Like we could wait, like Stroud or JJ McCarthy, or like we have another like late option. So I mean, May is kind of our bet to be our our ceiling guy. I'm good if he's still here to go with Cam Scattaboo and revisit the running back position.
Sure.
What are you hearing about that backfield? Because I've been projecting this is going to be Cam Scattaboo's backfield, but the hamstring injury like really threw a wrench in that. And I know the first week of the preseason, it was all Tyrone Tracy, and Singletary outsnapped him because he came in and they just took Tracy off the field.
Yeah.
After I think it was like 4 or 5 snaps with the first team. But how do you see, or at least what are you seeing from the coach speak? And like, how are you projecting that backfield? Because like I said, it's been all Cam Scattaboo for me. But that could have been that could be a delayed launch with the hammy issue.
It could. I've been very big on Scattaboo. The most recent coach speak about the backfield scared me off a little bit. Brian Daboll 2 days ago said, quote, "We have a starting running back. We have a couple other running backs that we think are going to help us. Turbo with Dante Miller."
I love Dante Miller, dude. God, he's so good.
He said Turbo is firmly in that mix based on his performance.
Really? Okay.
Based on special teams will be very important for him. End quote. So I just like Scattaboo more than Tracy for several reasons. I think Cam Scattaboo does pretty much all the stuff that Tyrone Tracy does, but better.
Same.
Obviously, his breakaway speed is not as good as Tyrone Tracy's. Like that's very evident. Tyrone Tracy probably a little bit more elusive, but Cam Scattaboo also very elusive and very good at just yards after contact, which Tyrone Tracy is not good at. Like you get a hand on Tyrone Tracy and he's probably going down. Then you have the ball security element, which Cam Scattaboo, is it him that was like 600 and some touches with no fumbles? Just like
he had a few fumbles in his final year, but I mean, like if you look at the touch volumes between him and Tracy, like, dude, Tracy had the 23rd most touches in the NFL last year amongst running backs, but he was tied for I think it was top 6 in fumbles. So I mean, it's a problem, man. Like, so I'll give you a little quiz here. Do you know who the OC was during Peyton Hillis's? And I'm just drawing parallels of archetypes of running back. Do you know who the OC was when Peyton Hillis had his monster year?
No, that was that like 2009?
It was way back when, but it was Brian Daboll for everybody.
Oh, wow.
Brian Daboll. Yeah. So there's a history of him. Like, would I come back and I feel like people need to be, it's a binary choice for me. People need to be making their bet on who do you think is the workhorse back? Because I think eventually we do get one workhorse back out of this backfield, because even the Giants showed us last year, they wanted one guy. It's just Tracy tried to fumble away the job and then it went back to him. So it's like, I think there's still going to be just one guy that's going to be toting the mail, like when it's come down to like crunch time. And right now I'll put it in on Scattaboo, but like, yeah, like the hammy is concerning. And like you were talking about, the coach speak is too.
I think the biggest thing for Scattaboo that's going to be great for him is the red zone and goal line role. Just elite 97th percentile success rate as a runner, just incredible in short yardage, and Dable doesn't have to worry about him fumbling like he does.
I was going to make it back to us, and I bet you that fool took Stroud like unstacked or some crap like that.
We are back on the clock here. If any of these guys are striking your fancy, we can get one of these QBs and backstack them.
Yeah, is this too early for Bryce Young? You tell me.
No, we can take him here.
Yeah, with QB, like the QB run and it drying up real fast, I'm fine with going and just get another quarterback, and we're making our bet. And so, like, we can get a third quarterback. Although, damn it, did we get two guys of bye week 14?
Yeah, but we're gonna have a third one though.
That's okay. This is a 3 QB team though too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm fine with taking a third. So
sure. You want to do Herbert?
I actually like the late stacking options with Love.
Yeah.
He's not a week 14 guy, correct?
Correct. He's week 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that'll leave me. I'm gonna tee up one of my favorite late round wide receivers who will probably be available on our next pick.
Beautiful. Love that. Recapping this team real quick so far: Drake May, Bryce Young, Jordan Love at running back, Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, Cam Scattaboo. Wide receiver Mike Evans, Tetaroa McMillan, Ricky Pearsall, Stephon Diggs, Jaden Higgins, and at tight end, TJ Hawkinson. I love having
that, dude.
I'm feeling great. I love it.
Yeah, I like this team a lot.
Yeah, I like getting Hawkinson and then just tagging on 2 late tight ends of like a Chikakonkwo and a Theo Johnson or Jawan Johnson.
Elijah Arroyo too. Love him.
All right. Got some folks in the chat here. Loving D-Bro coming on the show. Hell yeah. Keenan Allen going at 140 here.
What are your thoughts on Keenan Allen? Because I think he's a massive value. I was actually going to say, like, I was hoping he was going to get back to us. That my worry was he wasn't going to get back to us, and that's why I didn't go with Herbert earlier. But I think Keenan Allen, the ADP, is not going to catch up fast enough. Like the fact that Trey Harris, who honestly is going to be fighting to even be a starter in this offense, the fact that Trey Harris goes above him right now is blasphemous, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm very curious what Keenan Allen's snap share will be, and maybe even more importantly, like what position he's going to play for them. Whether it's
they're going to buck the Greg Roman trend and go more 11 personnel than we've seen ever out of Greg Roman. Like that entire Chargers offense is so damn interesting, dude. Like if anybody were to tell me there was any iteration of a Greg Roman offense, God dang it, there goes Romeo Doubs. That's the guy I was going to sit here and wax poetic about. Like you got to love when you could take Romeo Doubs like late unstacked.
Yeah. Damn.
That sucks.
Picks away, and we could look at
revisiting
back or wide receiver here.
Go. How many wide receivers we got so far, dude?
We have 5.
5.
Yeah.
Probably go with Pop Douglas if he doesn't go.
We're on the clock. He went. Yeah.
Do you want to finish up at tight end? Is it too early? I don't know where Hunter Henry's.
We can take him here. Yeah, this is like right around where Hunter Henry.
Let's take Hunter Henry, and then we're probably done at tight end. Like we made our bets. Unless we there's a guy that falls to us for a tight end 3.
Yeah. 4 picks away. If we just want to look here through like running back and wide receiver, these are the guys who are currently available.
It's so gross, but Nick Chubb is standing out of that group for me. Like I don't want anything to do with Quinshon Judkins, but he makes sense for this team though.
Yeah, the coach speak was just so bearish on.
It's so bad on him, man. Like it's hard for me to even click the button.
Yeah, we could do QJ. We could do Jerome Ford, who Stefanski called their RB1.
Let's go Jerome Ford. I don't have any exposure to him so far, so let's vary it up.
I have very little exposure. I just took him actually with Connor Allen, and
my answer for that backfield has just been nobody. So I mean, to get some exposure to Ford, I'm fine with. Like, and it makes sense for this team.
Yeah, Ford is Ford is one of those guys. This is another one that I told someone where he's like he's kind of like, he doesn't look great. He's like inverse Braylon Allen, where Braylon Allen looks really good and just like an absolute hoss when you're watching him live, and then you're looking at his metrics and you're like, oh, he
doesn't break any tackles. He's just big, right, and he runs in a straight line.
Yeah, and then Jerome Ford.
I don't get the Braylon Allen steam. I'm not on Braylon Allen. I can definitely tell you, like, I'm not a team Braylon Allen guy.
Yeah, and then Jerome Ford is kind of the inverse of that, where he doesn't look at all spectacular. Like, he looks pretty average as a running back. Yep. And then you look at his metrics, and those are like really popping.
They're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing with Ford is, like, as good as he's been over on a per touch basis over multiple seasons, Cleveland is just anti, like, giving this dude the ball, like giving him the full workload. They have always been so adamant about working in 1 to 2 of the running backs. It's like, can we not just have a few weeks of, like, let's feed Jerome Ford 18 to 20 touches and let's find out what happens? Mm-hmm. Like, can we do that?
Yeah. They really rode Nick Chubb as much as they could, even when he was looking really, really bad. I think it's just,
dude, they're even giving, like, Pierre Strong, like, carries alongside Ford and stuff like that. You're just like, what are we doing here, dude?
Yeah. Oh man, the Cleveland offense, the Saints offense, like, there could be some pretty bad.
What are we looking at for wide receiver? Like, we could probably maybe double tap 2 guys here. I would love like, there's a few guys I love here. It's probably a little bit early for Jalen Knoll, right?
I don't think it's too early for Knoll.
Coker definitely makes a lot of sense for this team.
Yeah. I think we could maybe get Coker on the next time around.
On the next one?
Maybe. Okay. Also, Rico Dowdle here.
I'm very much anti-Saquon, so if we wanted to go take a swipe at Will Shipley, I'm down with that.
Okay, you want to take Shipley here?
Yeah, I'm down with that. Because, dude, the more I've, like, been on it, like, if I'm fading Saquon, I need to get exposure to Shipley. Like, it's a process pick, you know?
Yeah, I have a ton of Shipley.
Yeah.
And then we'll attack wide receiver here. So yeah, my rankings, Coker's at the top, but
yeah, it's Coker for me. Like, I also think that, like, it's a non-zero chance. Have you heard anything of actual substance about, this is Jalen Coker for me.
Okay, let's do it.
Have you heard anything of actual substance about Adam Thielen maybe getting moved? Because I just feel like he's the easiest candidate. Like, Carolina were to move him for a late round pick. It makes too much sense to me.
I wonder what teams would be in the market to trade for
Atlanta,
34,
Minnesota are 2 that jump out to me. The Falcons and the Vikings definitely have a need.
Yeah, could
and plus his archetype of, like, the archetype of wide receiver, like, probably needs to be a slot heavy guy. Like, he also meshes perfectly with both those depth charts.
Right, and you have the 3-game suspension for Jordan Addison in Minnesota.
Yep.
Adam Thielen at his freshest at the beginning of
Bring
the season.
Thielen home and let him, like, have his final year of his career in Minnesota. Let him win some games, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense, dude. Even Atlanta, like, I mean, Darnell Mooney is banged up, and, like, dude, outside of London and Mooney, who the hell are we worried about in that passing attack? No, it's not Kyle Pitts.
Clint says the Niners.
I mean, I don't hate the Niners. He'd be a weird fit only because of as much 12 and 21 personnel. He's going to be stuck on the perimeter, so he doesn't really fit what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Right now with Jordan Watkins and Jacob Cowing is just returning from injury. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk.
Is Jennings still banged up, or do you think that that's a contract thing and not a calf thing? Do you think a new contract magically heals the calf? Like, he wakes up the next morning and he's like, funny enough, it doesn't hurt. And he does the Willy Wonka and he clicks his heels together and gets back on the field.
I would love that. Let's see. Kyle Shanahan, the latest thing he said was, we don't think his calf injury will be too serious, but it's bothering him now.
No, but maybe not bothering him after he rubs it with, some stacks of 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird how that happens,
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that love having Ricky Pearsall and George Kittle on teams.
Yep. No doubt, dude. So what do we got? 2 more picks left in this draft?
2 more picks. Yep.
Probably running back and wide receiver.
Yeah, running back and wide receiver would be the way here. If we're feeling good at tight end with Hawkinson and Henry, you feel good about that?
Yeah, I'm feeling good with that. I mean, we're making bets on those guys. Where we took Hawkinson, we're making the, you know what I mean? You got to make the bet that you're right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're making a bet that he's going to be really good and a difference maker. So I don't want to hedge and go 3 tight ends here.
Yeah, I have a receiver here. Actually, a couple would be.
Oh, I got a few. I like this range. I definitely like this range. And there's still a lot of running backs that have a lot of outs.
Yeah. Malik Washington going at 197 here in this draft.
That feels a little bit aggressive, but people,
I mean, the bads are so bad. The vibes are so bad with Tyreek Hill.
Oh, it's so bad with Tyreek
right
Hill. He's going to go full AB when they start off the season like 0-5.
Yeah, and then it's Malik Washington time. You got all the Jonnu Smith stuff in their preseason game to just targeting him like crazy. I feel like he's very, very, very much locked in wide receiver 3 on that team. They don't run a lot of 11 personnel, but if Tyreek Hill isn't going to be there, okay, so Torrey Horton goes off. That's the guy I really wanted. And anybody here that you would like?
I think Darius Slayton is a fine pick. We know he's going to be a starter the entire of the season. The upside would be like if Jackson Dart, they're probably going to be trailing a ton in games because of their schedule is god awful. But he's a perfect stylistic fit, like both with Russ and the Moon Balls, and even Dart has people got to see that. I was talking about it the entire draft process. Like Dart's got a fantastic deep ball, and people saw them thread the needle to Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Back on the clock here.
This is again, all low roads lead back to Brashard Smith for me. I love Brashard Smith. Like
Jerick McKinnon role.
Dude, well, here's the other thing. Here's the upside for him. If Pacheco misses any time, like
that's never happened.
Yeah, that's never happened at all. And for everybody out there that says, "Oh, a 7th round pick by the Chiefs can never leave their backfield," I show you. I say Isaiah Pacheco, hello. So I love Brashard Smith because I think he's a Pacheco. Like I think Jerick McKinnon role is probably what he's playing from the hop. So he has standalone value. He scores a touchdown. He's probably going to hit your flex and best ball in a number of weeks. But the upside, the true like stupid upside, comes from what if Pacheco gets hurt? They know what they have and what they don't have in Kareem Hunt. Carson Steele is not going to be a factor in this backfield.
Yeah.
Like there is a non-zero chance like if Pacheco misses time, Brashard Smith could be like their every down back. And I don't think that's crazy, but like you tell me if I'm just drinking too much of my own Kool-Aid here, Greg.
I thought so before the draft, watching Brashard Smith, I was like, man, this is a guy who I feel would fit kind of at home in like a Liam Cohen offense.
Yep.
Like some very like Bucky kind of stuff.
Yep.
On that tape. And
damn good pass catcher.
Yes, right. And the Chiefs, we know can exploit that there. Like they've done it in the past with Mahomes and Jerick McKinnon. So I mean, all we really need from him is 1 or 2 big spike weeks, and I feel that absolutely could happen.
Dude, at the last round of a draft, like you're talking like even for him to just mildly like to pay off this cost, 2 spike weeks, maybe 3, and he's a good late round pick. You know what I mean? And if those spike weeks come towards the end of the season after the touches are piled up on Pacheco, he's dinged up, you're seeing Smith work more in the backfield, even if Pacheco is not even out, like this is what we're talking about. Because we all did see, like, I think the constitution of this Chiefs offense remains exactly the same. It's just going to be Mahomes just peppering the underneath. his deep ball has arguably been garbage the last 2 years. And so I don't think there's much of a difference. But now you have Brashard Smith who can definitively play in the passing game. And like the other thing about this is, dude, is like if Brashard Smith gets a window and he can prove that he can be the guy, the Chiefs only have 2 running backs under contract next year. That's Brashard Smith and Carson Steele. That's it.
Let's recap this team we just drafted. At quarterback, Drake May, Bryce Young, Jordan Love. Running back, Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, Cam Scattaboo, Jerome Ford, Will Shipley, Brashard Smith. Wide receivers, Mike Evans, Tetaroa McMillan, Ricky Pearsall, Stephon Diggs, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Coker, Darius Slayton, and at tight end, TJ Hawkinson, Hunter Henry. How you liking this team, Derek?
Dude, I love the team. I mean, my only and this is just being a basketball purist. I hate taking a quarterback and having them unstacked. But after we got, Romeo Doubs didn't come back to us, it was like, I'm not reaching on the Dontavian Wicks and whoever the hell else is on that depth chart, or even going with a Luke Musgrave. Like that would feel like I'm just stacking just for the sake of like stacking just for the hell out of it. And honestly, dude, like where we got Love, he's the QB3. So like, honestly, like taking him where we got, we're really just banking on like when bye week hits, he's the bye week guy. So, I mean, I love this team. I thought it was like, we built it thoughtfully. Like after starting RB, we didn't get too heavy. We stayed pretty balanced and stuff after we caught up with wide receiver. But I mean, you tell me, what are your thoughts on this team?
I love it. It shaped up super, super nice here. We have the like Jerome Ford kind of chaperoning Cam Scattaboo here early in the season.
A mishmash of early and late season production, possibly.
Yeah, I think we get a little bit of standalone value from Will Shipley, and then there's obviously the massive contingent upside there if something happens to Saquon Barkley. Love these receivers. Again, I think Tetaroa McMillan is
smash.
Like you say, he's going too late.
He is, and we made a bet that Carolina surprises in a big way this year, like with him and Coker double stacking Bryce.
Yeah. Before I'll let you go, Derek, would love to know, what are your 4 favorite films?
Oh, good Lord. All right. Well, I'm just going to go to my mishmash of characters here.
All right.
The characters that always, so Dark Knight, Heath Ledger's Joker is undefeated. Like for me, I always go to movies that have iconic characters, like in character acting. Heath Ledger's Joker is a definitive one. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. So Tombstone is another one. I've got him up here on the shelf. I will go to the first Deadpool is one of my favorite movies. I've got 2 different Deadpools up here, both regular and Bob Ross style. And last movie, man, one movie that like I know it's corny and stuff, but I just love his physical comedy, his acting prowess, and it's a movie that shaped honestly my my sense of comedy from a young age, man. And I know it's not gonna like make like a lot of people's like top list, but it was so influential in the fact that I thought it was absolutely freaking hilarious, and I still quoted the Ace Ventura, the first one. I love Jim Carrey. His acting and his physical comedy is just nothing beats that dude.
Yeah, he's such a unique talent.
Such a damn good random out of left field question too, dude. Shout out to that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I feel you can learn a bit about people by just like knowing what their 4 favorite films are.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I kind of juxtapose like character acting with like smart ass sarcastic comedy and stuff. So yeah, like Deadpool is still one of my favorite movies, man. Like we actually saw it in the theaters like 5 times, dude, just because I couldn't get enough of it. Like I was rolling the first time that I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, had there been a superhero film that had an R rating up to
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if there had been, man. And one that so specifically kept just pushing that fourth wall and has considered
Mhm.
like continued to do that. Yeah, I mean, whether you wanted to go Deadpool or Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean, I just think they were both fantastic movies.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Thanks to everyone for hanging out with us today. On Friday, we have 2 more drafts, one with Chuck Bass, one with Danny Kelly of The Ringer. That'll be super fun. Yeah, Derek, please let us know what you got going on and where we can find you.
Oh man, all the things and stuff is at Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros right now. I mean, it's all getting back from the Fantasy Expo and stuff, and we're really in crunch time. So everybody's like really heavily all in you know, whether it's catching up on research, reading stuff, finalizing stuff, getting ready for all their leagues. So I'm updating all of our draft kit, all my draft kit items over fantasypros.com, whether that's my perfect draft. I think I've got like 8 to 10 articles in there. And my massive labor of love, I'm adding already to that. So earlier this offseason, it's still live on the site. My top 200 came out. So that is literally 200 players, defenses, kickers, everybody that is in the top 200 of my ranks, all has a write-up. Yes, I did write-ups for defense and kickers. I'm expanding that before it is all said and done, before week 1. This week, my major push for the rest of this week is to get, I'm pushing it out to a top 250. So if you're doing best ball drafts, if you are using this for deep redraft leagues, I wanted one thing I could put out there, dude, where it was the one-stop shop. Like, it is deep enough to where you can use this for 16 teamers. You can use this for best ball. Really, it's just the one thing that I wanted to put out there that people could use across all their leagues and all their formats.
Awesome. Y'all go check that out. Thanks again to Derek for joining us. And we'll see you later. Peace.